I've been pretty vocal on how much of a risk I thought this film was gonna be. I was fine with all the trailers, the posters, and the cast. It was mainly just Sony that worried me. But you know what? This past week, I was actually getting more hyped for this movie. I was getting prepared to eat my words. Eat all that terrible crap I've been saying about it. Just practically choke on all the bad things I thought this movie was gonna be. But did I? Nope. My favorite part of the movie was when the credits started rolling, because Eminem was there. I am completely baffled of how incompetent this movie is. A lot of people were saying how bad it was, and others were saying that the critics were completely wrong. So I really had no expectations walking in here. And it's sick that I gotta do this now. Venom's one of the best Spider-Man characters out there, but this doesn't even feel like a movie. It feels like a rushed YouTube video. Tom Hardy is basically doing his best to carry the movie. Michelle is reduced to a bland, generic love interest that straight up looked a bit confused at times. And then the dude from Star Wars feels like he's filming an entirely different movie. All that's still passable though. There are several scenes where the acting and directing was on point. But what really bodies this movie is the pacing. I thought the type of humor and quips they had in this were alright. I thought it was okay. But that wasn't the thing holding this back. It was the scenes where you weren't supposed to laugh that destroys it. I've only ever heard of these in stories. But a lot of the theater was laughing at some of the serious moments. People were actually laughing when Eddie was having a heart-to-heart moment with his ex. There was sad piano music in the background and everything. That was such an awful feeling. I don't know if that was intentional, maybe the piano music was an editing mistake, but it definitely felt like that shouldn't have been there. They also kept cutting back to the Riot symbiote traveling from Asia to San Francisco, as if that was even relevant to the story. Yeah, it shows how the little girl gave Drake the symbiote, but they could have reworked how he got it so that it doesn't fill up the time with these borderline random scenes. And the time jump in the very beginning only makes things worse. We were only introduced to these two as love interests for half a second, and then the next they're broken up. It's kinda hard to care about their relationship if you've barely even established it. And what was Riot doing for the 6 months it was in Asia? Why did it choose to stay bonded with the old woman? I don't have anything against old women, but aren't old people like the least ideal hosts out there for a parasite? I mean, doesn't it eat away at the person from the inside like they said it did? Sony's getting a lot of shade thrown towards them because Spider-Man's not in this. But if I'm being honest, I don't think Spider-Man could have saved this one. Including a well-loved, iconic superhero can't save bad writing. People are saying they actually like this movie just because Venom is in it. But this just isn't for me. I'm not even looking at this as a comic book movie. As a solid film, this isn't it. Things just seem to happen, characters don't really get developed. The only two arcs here are the Venom and Eddie one. Everyone else is treated like a bunch of props. They're hardly even characters. The best parts of this movie are what you'd expect to be the best part in a Venom movie. The dynamic between Eddie Brock and Venom. And it works. The quips, the goofiness, the internal monologue, most of it plays off really well. But by the time they bond, the film feels like it's in such a desperate rush to hurry and end. And that sucks, because you feel like it was just getting good. I guess what it boils down to is that this is kind of a passionless project. People really wanted to see Carnage fight Venom, so they just made this one to set up for a sequel. I liked the post-credits scene. Carnage is awesome. I like Woody Harrelson. But it just makes this movie, standing on its own, feel worse. All it is just filler. I don't know what else to say. The action scenes are fine, the visual effects were pretty good. I especially loved the goopy aesthetic to the symbiote. All that being said, I can't wholeheartedly say I recommend you'd watch it because it's good. Because personally, I think it's not. But to me, this is one of those so bad it's good movies. So if you're into those, then hey, knock yourself out. I don't usually give movie ratings anymore, but this one's special. D+. That may or may not change.